welcome everyone to the 40th anniversary of the 1974 April 3rd tornado ceremony. I know that everyone that was in Jefferson County that day will remember very vividly where you were and how this tornado affected your life that day. We want to remember all the people who either lost their life or was affected by the tornado that day. I want to share a short story with you about my experience on that tragic day, April 3rd, 1974. My grandfather was a school bus driver, and I was riding on the school bus. They went ahead and let school out as a normal day that day, and we was on a gravel road, and it started. The sky got really black. It started hailing. The hail was the size of softballs, and it was actually putting dents in the top of the school bus. So we got I helped my grandfather get all the students under the, although I was 12 years old at the time as well, I helped him get all the students under the seat of the bus so that we could maybe protect them, because we thought maybe it was going to bust out some windows or some things like that. But thankfully, that did not happen. And we sat there and watched the black cloud hit Hanover. We knew it was really bad after that point. The debris started falling from the sky, where we were. So we knew that it was something bad had really happened. When I finally got home that evening, I told my mom what happened, that a tornado that hit Hanover, and I found out that my sister was still in Hanover at the Southwestern Elementary School at the time when that hit. And so we got in the car and ran over there. Well, we could only get within about 5 miles of Hanover probably. So I told Mom to stay with the car, and I got out and was going to walk to the school. I ended up running to the school 4 or 5 miles. And of course, some of the power lines were still live at the time. So, you had to maneuver around those. And when I got to the school, the high school was first. The high school was completely gone. There was no sight of the high school at all. The elementary school, there was only a few walls still standing. Of course, my heart kind of sank at the time because, who could live through something like that? That was the first thought. So I finally made my way to the elementary school and tried to dig through some of the rubble that was there. Well, some other people came up that I knew and said that my sister had survived the tornado and that another relative had already picked her up. That was, I was happy in that respect, but I still haven't saw her. So that, my heart was still kind of heavy because all kinds of stories was coming out at this time, of course. So I made my way back to my mother's car and told her what happened, and of course she started to cry, and I told her that somebody else had already picked her up, but that I hadn't saw her yet. And so anyway, we went back home, and about an hour and a half later, the relative actually pulled in our lane, and she was with him, and we was very thankful, that had happened, and but she was still shaking, of course, and still storms today. A big storm comes, she's still just scared to death, and rightfully so, I think. And I'm sure everyone that was here in Jefferson County that day has a tragic story to tell. That was mine, and it really wasn't a tragic story, but it was a sort of a sad story. And with that, I'm going to end this and let our next speaker come up. Bob, was that you?